Welcome everyone. Today is Wednesday and it's a Women Crush Wednesday. So I hope you guys are all having a good time. So we're gonna give you guys a few little bit of minutes to come in and make your way in. Please take all the seats in the front row first. Do not sit in the back. So we're super excited to be here. So I'm Tracy Phipps. I'm the founder of Time for Tea Orlando. And we're really happy to be here. Last week we had some great conversations with Dr. Keita Joy. We talked all about bias and celebrating women, and she dropped a lot of gems and a lot of really good nuggets for us to remember. So today we have another special program for you guys, and we are going to be talking to someone that is just awesome. Her name is Amanda J. So we're going to introduce her in a little bit. But first, I just want to give you guys a moment to come on in, and hopefully you guys are having a very good Wednesday. Go ahead and let us know how you're feeling. Throw it in the chats if you're excited about today. Let us know if you're celebrating anything special. Give us a shout out and take this opportunity also to start to share. Start a watch party if you can, but just spread the word so we can have some people on here joining us for some great conversations. So we're super excited for today. And yeah, we're going to get started. So first I want to start by answering the question, what is Time for Tea? For those of you who are new to the organization. So Time for Tea, we are a nonprofit, and what we do is we work on curating open and honest conversations over tea. And we do this by having very beautiful, elegant events that we host throughout Orlando. We also partner with schools to offer etiquette training for young girls. And we're constantly looking for ways to unite the community, especially around diversity, inclusion, people of different ages, cultures, and backgrounds. So that's what we're all about. And March is like a special month for me, first of all, because it's my birthday month. But it's also a special month because it's the month that we celebrate and honor women just across the entire world. So it's really important for us to go all out and do as much as we can, especially to bring light to some of the women in our community that are really doing some things. And I think especially people that might be a little bit hidden gems that we want to bring to light because they are just amazing people and definitely people that you guys can also learn from. So without further ado, we're going to get started. So I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of a video so you can learn more about Time for Tea. Hi, I'm Tracy, and I'm the founder of Time for Tea. Time for Tea stands for Talk, Empower, and Affirm. We exist to produce confidence in women and girls in our community by bringing them together to create open and honest conversations. Our vision is to see diversity in age and culture between women and girls and bringing them together to learn from one another. In 2020, we were able to do a lot of great things. However, we have some aggressive goals in 2021, such as expanding our brand nationally, also being able to target and train 100 girls in our community on etiquette and social skills. And we also want to continue to host quarterly events, whether they're in person or virtually. We also hope this year to really engage our women. So you're going to see a lot more activity on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe. And we're also starting a private Facebook page as well to share more information and create more dialogue with you guys. So with an aggressive goal in 2021, we also need really great people on our team. So we're looking for you. Bloggers, writers, videographers, photographers, content creators. If you're creative and you want to be part of something big and that's different and unique, make sure you send us an email. Make sure you head over to www.timeforteaorlando so that you can learn more. And you can also learn about how we're serving confidence with a cup of tea.
Tracy!
Ursula!
How are you tonight?
Doing?
I am so excited to be on this live tonight with you for our Women's History Month Tea Talk with Amanda J. So I'm super, super excited for that. And that introduction was phenomenal. I'm so ecstatic about what's happening at Time for Tea this year, what we've accomplished thus far, and being a part of your team as the publicist. So thanks for having me tonight and joining you for this conversation.
Yes, and thank you for everything that you do for Time for Tea. Ursula's been one of our first ever volunteers and members that we've had, and she's just awesome and amazing. So super happy to have her. She's like a pro at what she does. So if anyone's looking for a publicist, you know who to call.
I'm your girl.
Yeah, so we're super excited today. So again, like what we're doing this month in general is just celebrating women. And one of the major topics around International Women's Day, which is actually March 8th. And one of the major topics and themes is the hashtag choose to challenge, right? And this is just about challenging inequality, challenging gender bias, and also challenging each other to really celebrate the women around us. And that's what we're doing today. We really wanted to take some time on our Women Crush Wednesday and not just, make a post or write something, but we really wanted to take time to spend some quality time with some women in the community that are hidden gems that we know are doing great things that we can learn from and really honor them and lift them up. So that's the purpose of today. And we're going to be here until 8:30. So I hope you guys can tune in for the entire time. And make sure that you guys start a watch party so we can get some people on as well. We want to make sure no one misses out. So I'm actually going to start by bringing on our guest speaker for today. So her name is Amanda J. So Amanda J, I'm going to talk a little bit about her. So first of all, she's a singer. She's also the founder of Ronde Blue, which is an event company that she just founded. She's also the co-founder of the Cis Expo that actually just occurred recently, which looked amazing and beautiful. So congrats to that team and her. But also, like, Amanda J is just an amazing R&B singer. So this girl is a performer. I mean, I've seen her live. I've sang beside her. I've sung with her. She has an amazing voice, extremely talented. And part of the reason why I decided to bring her on is because I admire her hustle. So if you guys don't follow Amanda J on Instagram, we're going to make sure we throw it in the comments. Because this girl, every time I'm looking, she's either like selling coquitos or selling something online, and she's just hustling and finding ways to just always get to something. And even when we did our last event, she sang with me at the R&B Renaissance event in September. And like right after the event, she's like, all right, now we have to do a cover. All the girls have to do a cover. So she's like always just like, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Love it.
So yes, and she's young. So that's another thing is like she's young, she's super passionate, a lot of energy, and she's beautiful. So you guys will see her in a minute. So I'm gonna just stop talking about her and let her on. So we'll let her on now.
Okay. All right. Hey, Amanda.
Now I'm blushing. You done gave me all of the, the natural. I don't even need none of this. I have large shoes to fill, I guess, for myself. How are you guys?
We are good. So excited.
We are doing well.
So, thank you for that large introduction. That was everything for me. And I'm just blessed to be on the show. I'm blessed to be here. I'm cheesing from ear to ear because I don't know, you guys, I'm sure you guys can understand how long it takes to be, I guess, recognized. I don't really want to say that's the right word, but it's like for other women to really want to join in for what you're doing and ask, what made you want to do it. So I think that's really rewarding and it's a blessing.
Yeah, and we're all for it. Like I said, and I think you know this, but like keep doing what you're doing because you never know who's watching.
Yes,
and people
absolutely.
are always watching, and you're definitely making some noise. You're making a splash. And I mean, I'm just going to dive right in because I know a little bit about your background. Like I know you put on shows for artists in Orlando in partnerships with other companies. I know you just started your own event. So first of all, tell us about your journey. Like who is Amanda J? How did you get started? And what's your journey?
Okay, so Amanda J came about I always felt like I was put in a box and I felt like I was always being told what to do. And it started with my name, Amanda, if I had $1 for every time somebody sang the Amanda Bynes theme song to me, I wouldn't need to work anymore. So it was, you know what I mean? So it was like, no, don't make that joke. But no, seriously, I've always known since I was a young girl that music was my path. That was who I was. It was how I got through my hardest times. It was how I was able to relate to other people, and music saved my life. I don't come from a background where I have my family, I don't talk to my parents. I have a lot of sisters, but we're kind of spread out all over the place. And I was able to find my identity when I was able to learn how to write and sing and really branch out. And it also stopped me from being so shy. A lot of people don't know this, but at one point in time, like I was just very quiet into myself. And if I'm not out and about doing something, I'm home. You know, I don't really do too much aside from supporting other people's events or putting on events or performances. So I've never been the club type girl, the party type girl. It was always like work or support or home. So straight out of college, you know, actually, no, I started music when I was about like recording music. I started out in an all-female group. From that all-female group, I went to, I want to say it was about 2 years. I started with my sister and one of my friends, Gwen, and she's still doing music. My sister still, she does sing still. But what I think the craziest part about it was I stayed solo and I continued pushing. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I just knew that it was going to happen. So while in the midst of me figuring out who I was as a solo artist was where the branding came in. I had management, and I just kept pushing when it came to being an artist and winning awards in different cities and traveling and really just figuring out who I was as Amanda J. After that, I don't know, I got stagnant. I hit a plateau when I was in Jacksonville and I just got kind of like bored. And then I ended up having not vocal surgery. I had my tonsils taken out and I couldn't sing for 2 years. And it was the most depressing time of my life. After that, I was like, okay, I need to find a new place that I can go and figure out what I want to do musically. So I moved to Orlando. And as soon as I moved here, the first thing I did was I found an open mic. And every Monday I was at Loud Gallery and I was talking to other artists and I was figuring out how I could support. And I was supporting women, you know, celebrating women and just doing things. And then before I knew it, I was like, I don't need to stand back and just watch other people do it. I know what I'm capable of. So I started, you know, performing. And again, I feel like supporting first is always the biggest step, because once you find out, you know, where your niche market is and just how you fit in, I guess, or who you can network with and who is willing to give you that chance, that's when people start to find out about you. So the more that people started to find out about me singing just from the open mics and stuff, more people became interested. And before I knew it, I was helping studios lift off their, you know, memberships off the ground and becoming a brand ambassador for different clothing lines and working at hair shows. And I just kept on piling things on. And I was always a sponge. You know, I was a 1099 agent at one point working in life insurance, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I was working at Verizon and I was helping people all day and I didn't want to do that anymore. And I realized at a young age that I was good at talking to people, but I wasn't happy in a position where I wasn't really affecting people's lives. Because I could work for another company and I'm really great at being in the customer service, but I didn't feel like I was really diving deep. So it was actually last year around this time, right before coronavirus, where I was working at a studio and I started putting on my own events. And the reason why was because I felt like I was being ignored by so many people, but so many people did show me love. So I was like, all right, rather than just artists, let's put together a networking event where dancers, painters, any vendor, just anyone that wants to be involved to support each other can come together. And I did 2 of them. And I didn't realize how big they were going to end up until I had over 150 people at both of those events. And I was like, I didn't have any more room. And it was great. It made me feel good because, you know, after that, so many people were like, dang, like we knew you could sing, but we didn't know you could do this. So I was like, yeah, I could do this. And I started to realize like there's more to me. And that fast forward to now where I've built really great relationships with a handful of people that have been able to believe in me and came, you know, with the professional manner and knew what they were doing. And I realized I was a brand. I wasn't just an artist, I'm a brand. Sorry, it was so long-winded and that was the short end. So
15 that was a great
15 years.
That was a great introduction. And as you were talking, I was thinking about when I met Tracy and she shared with me her introduction to Orlando. I'm a native of Orlando. So, you know, seeing, you know, and hearing you all coming here and really wanting to like dominate your industry in another city, is to me inspiring. And that's why we have you here tonight for Women's History Month, because you are creating the foundation of something that can be bigger, that you want to see for yourself and other people. And so I love that connectivity that you all have with coming here. Tracy did the same. I don't know if you all know her background, but when she moved here, she was like, I need to build something that I want to see because I don't see it happening. So she built it and now it's growing. And so you're doing the same thing, Amanda. So I just love that.
The one thing I did forget to kind of say was just how my heart was broken not even a month in, because the reason why I decided on Orlando was because I came here for my birthday with my sister one year and I went to Mango's and I was like, oh, I could sing on stage for Mango's and do that. Well, I went there for an interview after I had already moved here, packed up everything, was like, I'm going to get a job there. And they told me I was too big to work there. They told me I was too thick, and too heavy set to be on their stage. And so again, just to follow through with being in a box all the time, I was like, you want me to be like 120 pounds? Because but my whole life I had been told that I shouldn't be doing this, I shouldn't be wearing that. Women, I feel like, are looked at for our bodies all the time and how we present ourselves in any industry. But a man can walk in at any point in time with a Gucci gut. You know what I mean? It's not going to matter. They're not going to be turned down. And I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Men don't have to deal with it. They're not expected to have a six-pack. So like when I moved here and my heart got broken, that's really what lit a fire under me. That's the point. Is like, it just really was like, let me show you what I'm going to do.
Yeah. And that's a good segue into our next question is, tell us about what kind of gender bias or things that you've experienced just being an artist, just in general with being who you are. Like, what are some of the things that you've encountered, especially being a woman?
So of course that, I feel like the women industry, it's all about being a sex symbol. It's all about sex sells. You have to be, that and BBLs. It is a season and a culture where if you don't look like
you don't know.
Surgery, plastic surgery, you have to have the really tiny waists and a real, big bottom, because I'm going to be very professional setting today. But, ever since Kim Kardashian, the Claremont twins, and a lot of those reality shows came out, you see a lot of celebrities shape-shifting. And the media has just put that pressure on women where we have to be a mother, be a wife, be friends. We have to be a family woman first, and then we can focus on our goals. But by the time we focus on our goals, you have to look like this in order to be accepted for those goals. It doesn't matter if you're a mother who just popped out 4 children. You have to look like this. Otherwise, you're not, and I've had, not publicists, but I've had stylists that were like, well, maybe we should just change up your wardrobe for now because you're not going to get the attention that you want until you do dress like A, B, and C. And for me, it's like, I'm all about style. I'm all about, embracing our curves in our bodies, but it shouldn't just be that when we are intelligent. And I do feel like the gender bias against women and minority women at that is just a little bit worse. You think about a news anchor. I forgot her name. She's in Texas, I want to say, but she was the first really thick, curvy woman that came out in a normal dress. And she went viral all over, Shade Room and everything, because she had people emailing in like, oh, she's too tempting. We don't think that she should be on the news, because she was a curvy woman. I had left a position when I came here to Orlando, and I was looking at numerous other women. And again, I'm not putting anything else aside from the fact that I saw people wearing what I was wearing, but because I was a little bit more curvy, I was sent home from work. And I'm like, I'm tired of being in a position where people can tell me what to do and I have to suffer because of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me being a crybaby, but I shouldn't feel like I always have to wear slacks and a button-down shirt for my boss to be comfortable with me walking in the building. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys have had those experiences, but as I said, I watched and I took pictures and I formed a whole case. Like, I got into a whole lawyer mode. And I brought it to HR. Like, this is my dress. This is what I wore. I went home because I refused. I was like, I'm not going to go spend money on something across the street. You guys can send me home. That's okay. I had to take a stand. So I took a photo of what I was wearing. And then over the next course of the week, I took photos of other women that were in dresses, including managers. And I brought it to them and I said, so what is the difference between what they were wearing and what I'm wearing? Is it because they're a size 0 through a 4 and I'm a 5 through an 8? Or, well, no, that's not technically the case. You were uncomfortable.
Right.
And that's what it came to.
No, I definitely agree. And it also goes into being, we're all minority women on here. So going into minority women as well. So an added layer of that in our curves, our size, but also being a minority woman. So they're looking at both of those things off top. That's another bias that definitely, if you don't understand or if you're not identifying with it, you won't even realize that it's something that they think unconsciously. So just speaking, transparent, that is definitely an added thought to it when they're looking at us. And so you talked about biases that you've experienced in the workplace, just in general in life, and then obviously dealing with other women, because this isn't just about, although we're talking about gender equality and inequalities, we also have biases amongst each other as women. And so what are you doing to raise awareness about this? And what are some of the initiatives that you focus on?
Honestly, I feel as though my approach has always been, and this has rubbed some women the wrong way, is that I say what I mean. I'm not the type of person to tiptoe around a situation if I feel uncomfortable with it. Obviously, I'm cordial and I'm smart about how I approach it, but I do feel as though other women are also a part of that, where they may not be able to accept when a woman has a personality, looks good, and is genuinely supportive of you. I feel like a lot of people get jealous of it, and so they try to take you down on it. And what I'm trying to do to shift the narrative is just continue to kill people with kindness. It's not anything new. It's taught in the Bible, and it's taught by God that, to treat people the way that God would want to be treating his kids. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm the perfect Christian or, religious woman. I just have a relationship with God. And what I've noticed is that over time, instead of approaching a situation and making it an argument, I just state how I feel about the situation. I cut off the energy and I just continue to uplift the women that are actually doing something. And so I think that some people notice that about me, because even they'll come back and be like, you know what, I misunderstood how you were presented. My perception of you was wrong. Can we start over? And so I think that when you lead by example, by just loving on people and just continuing to be genuine instead of backlashing, as hard as it may be, because it is hard. There will be
taking the high road.
Yes, there will be people that are just so determined to ignore your light that all you have to do is just keep shining.
Keep shining.
Yeah. And like I said, I was ignored so long, where people would, I was submitting for showcases and I was submitting for internships. And it was like I was telling people, I want to start event planning. Like, let me help you. I'm not just an artist. Oh, no, we'll let you know if we need you for a show. And it's like, I'm trying to tell you that there's other things that I can bring to the table. And the reason why is because we're tired of this dynamic. And I realized in an early age that being an artist isn't easy anymore. Okay. You can't just sing and make money off of it. You got to think, Rihanna got Savage Fenty. Beyonce has Ivy Park.
Streams.
Yes. Yeah. And you have to have those other streams of income. And so regardless of what lane you place yourself in, you have to have another lane that is also your strength, because it piggybacks off of your business. And so for me, I just want to continue uplifting the women that have already found their purpose and love on those that continue to go through the same issues that I do, where they're faced with adversity and they don't know where to continue. And I feel like having a good support system that is going to be like, sis, laugh about it. It's okay. That person's going to realize in a few years why they should have worked with you. This person's going to realize why they should have wanted to join teams with you. And they should have been able to see the vision. And the last thing that I'm going to say about it is you have to realize that everybody's at a different point in your life. There's going to be some friends that are going to be there just so that when you're out ready for a drink and you want to go out to party, they're there for a good time. They're not there to call for good ideas and be like, yo, I want to spin this business plan by you. sis, I got a
Right.
job. I've worked here for 6 years. I don't care. Like, I don't know nothing about this. That's fine. And so I also think that we personally have to take responsibility to know where people belong in our lives and treat them accordingly. That doesn't mean it has to be bad. It just means, okay, when I have an idea for business, I have these friends. When I have someone that I want to go and vent to, I have this circle. And when I want to just go be sloppy and actually, and be who I am and not think about business, I have these people.
Yeah.
And if they don't belong, cut it off.
There's a caption I saw on social media that said, there are friends that I can build with, and there are some friends that I can chill with. Decipher the two and keep it moving.
Yeah.
And that's okay, like you said.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comments said, I got you, call me. Yeah, that's funny.
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
You touched on like two important things, and you've been saying a lot of great things. So there was, I love that you brought up about, as an artist, you've come to a conclusion that there has to be more than just the music, which is also something else that stood out to me about you, because when I met you, you were an artist, or at least to me, that's what you were. You were a singer, a performer, you dance and very talented. But when I started to notice like your hustle and what you were doing on the side, especially seeing that now you're like launching your event business and you did the conference, I was like, okay, she's onto something, because I think a lot of people focus on just the music, and I'm an artist as well, and I've learned like, it can't just be the voice. It has to be a whole package and what you bring to the table. So I think that's great that you're doing that. And then also I wanted to, because we're running out of time a little bit, but I also wanted to just talk on what you did recently, the Cis Expo. So just talk a little bit about what that was. And I think it was mostly focused on women. So I want to hear from you, like, what was that? And also, how are you guys using that platform to also celebrate women?
Yes. So I'm going to try to keep things short-winded, because for me, I like developing things and then explaining. So that's my fault. So CIS stood for Support Influences Success. And by no means was it meant to exclude men, but it was to put a focal point on women who are in this industry and they are doing things and they're not getting the recognition they deserve for it. And then also bringing together other business owners who maybe don't have the money to invest $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in, a class, or paying someone to teach them about their business and just find some fundamentals. So I was not the one that came up with this idea. I want to make that clear for anyone that's watching. My wonderful mentor, Oriana Campbell, she was the one, and she is the one who continues to put together ideas to help further numerous different avenues. And she does artist development. She has business management experience. She helps kickstart companies. She does logo design. Like, this girl literally has a conglomerate of different things that she does. And she's teaching me and mentoring me into launching my business, because Rendezvous isn't officially launched yet. We just started to kind of trickle out that idea and let people know. And then I'm underneath her, because I'm going to be doing most of, A, B, and C, and she does A, B, and C. But ultimately we're a partnership. So when she brought the idea to me, she was like, let's do this. And really, CIS was meant, like I said, to network all of those smaller businesses who basically are just startups. And we were tired of seeing that the minority gap for millionaires and, pretty much anyone that was Black, Latino, they weren't making as much money in their middle class group as, of course, the white race and, higher class. So the reason why has to do with funding. It has to do with knowledge. It has to do with the fact that a lot of these families that are already established have the business credit. They have all of the knowledge. They have the people to mentor under. Whereas we have people in our city that are fighting to get away from their jobs, start up their own companies, especially after coronavirus. Job security is a joke. You have people that were with their companies for 50 years gone because it's another person's decision. So we just wanted to bring a bunch of people together, recognize really great women. I mean, Joa McNally, that we actually, we gave her an award. She has 3 published books that are in the curriculum for children, and she's not recognized anywhere near where she should be. And that's just a small portion of what she's done. A lot of the people that ended up joining hands at that conference should be way further than they are. However, because, you know, of certain circumstances, being minorities, things of that nature, society has kept us here. And so what we're trying to do is build with other business owners and pretty much put our heads together and our knowledge together and figure out how we can curve that and change that and make it more known. You know, there's no reason why we have so many successful women that are Black, Hispanic, that can be moguls for our children, and they'll be able to change the game. You know what I mean? We need somebody that our kids can look up to, whether they want to stay in school and be a nurse or a lawyer, or they want to start their own company, they should be able to.
Nice. Awesome. And I think that someone in the comments also said, I brought out my test products and the support was real, and now have an investor interested in my startup and other resources for funding. I was supposed to just be the door girl and I left with sales. So
yes, Bree, that's my girl. We met as brand ambassadors. Again, brand ambassador. I love how much that's developed. But she, she was just, you know, she was smart, and she brought her business cards and did everything. And she did what we told everyone to do: bring your business and talk about it. And now she's, you know, been excited ever since. And I love you, Bree.
Awesome. Yes. Okay. So Amanda, tell us, like, what's next? What can we look forward to with you? What's kind of up your sleeve? Like, what's next?
Okay, so I have a lot in the works as an artist and as a businesswoman. And really, the only thing that I really want to say is that I've been quiet for a reason. And it's because, you know, we don't like to jinx what we're working on, but I really am focused on my launch party. And my launch party is probably going to be in May. And this is where I'm going to launch everything that I've been working on for the last year, which, if I can count off the top of my head, I think it's 5 different things that I'm going to be launching at the same time. So this will also be an event planning project for myself, where I will be able to plan my own party and show people what I'm capable of. So I want to be able to help people make their, you know, dream birthday parties come true, their kids' birthday parties, weddings. I want to help people bring the magic of whatever that ambiance is to life. That is something that I enjoy doing. I want to continue bringing artists together. And really, Sis is the only thing that, aside from my music, is the only other thing that I'm focused on. Because we're bringing something bigger, we're bringing something better for the next one. We're aiming for the next one to be around summertime. We don't know, it's still up in the air, but we do want businesswomen to join with us, and we can continue to make this thing grow. Because if you do the research on, you know, any business conferences that involve women, you're not going to see women of color there. You're really not. It's a very, very, very small amount. And we want to bring that and add that in. It's a necessary component for us to continue. And we want men there too. Like, we want all the help that's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And our men play a really big part in women empowerment too. So that's a really good point too. Awesome. Well,
before we finish,
go ahead.
Tell everyone how they can reach you, where they can follow you, where they can follow Sis, where they can follow your music, all of that great stuff.
All right. So my Instagram is pretty much my biggest platform at this point in time. My websites are actually under construction by my business partner, Oriana Campbell. So if you guys have any graphic work, you need flyers, you need logos done, this is her lane. She did all of the graphic work for Sis, by the way. So the media walls, you saw the website, anything that you saw was all her. She is so great. But you can follow my Instagram at BlueJaySings. So BlueJaySangs. My links for pretty much everything is on there. Rendezvous, I do have an events planning page that's coming. It's already there, but again, it's not launched officially. So if you guys do want to follow it, it's Rendezvous, which is RENDEBLUE. So aside from that, Sis Expo, I believe, is at SIS_Expo. And I literally will I post so much on my page to make sure people don't miss anything. But you ladies have been amazing. I look forward to hopefully working more together soon. And Thank you so much for having me on, because I can't stop smiling. This meant so much to me.
We had an amazing time with you also, and we will talk more.
Yes. Thank you for being on, Amanda.
All right. That was so great. I hope that you all enjoyed that conversation. Please make sure that you are putting these gems that were shared tonight in the comment section, whether on Facebook or YouTube. Make sure you go follow Amanda and all the great things that she is doing. Go listen to her music. Just do it all. Do it all. Make sure you share this as well. If you're watching the replay, you can still share it on Facebook. You can also share the link from the YouTube. So, yeah, before we leave, Tracy, is there anything else? I believe we have some amazing announcements coming up.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. So we are going to be sharing this with you guys. You guys can definitely repost, share. Make sure you go follow Amanda J on all her content. Again, she's an amazing singer, songwriter, everything. So make sure you guys check her out. For upcoming things that we have, actually next Wednesday, I know we have this every Wednesday, but next Wednesday is going to be a little different. We're going to be live again at 7 p.m. And we're actually going to be downtown at Venture X, and we're going to be live a panel of women, of awesome women in Orlando. And we can't wait to release the roster. But basically, we'll have 3 women with us. Kay Rollins of Orlando City Soccer will be joining us. Gigi Morneman of Raise Your Glass Promotions is also going to be gracing us with her presence. And then also Rosine Johnson of Pace Center for Girls is going to be joining us. So we have a nice lineup of women, and we're going to be doing something very similar. It'll just kind of be lifestyle with Ursula and I, and you'll be able to see those women. And we do have very limited space, so if you are interested in being there in person at 7 p.m. at Venture X downtown in Orlando, it's right on Orange 100 East Pine Street, something like that. Pines and oranges. Yes. It's somewhere there.
Oh gosh.
Information with you guys very soon, and if you're interested in joining us and being there present, just shoot us an email. It is going to be very, very private. So if you're interested, let us know. But that's what we have coming up. And then make sure you stay tuned every Wednesday, because we have some new stuff for you guys every single Wednesday with some new fresh women. And that's time for tea.
Awesome. Have a good night, Tracy. Good night, everyone. Once again, share this. It is Women's History Month, and we need to make sure that these women are being highlighted, all the great things that they're doing.
Yes. Thank you. Bye, Ursula.
Talk to you later. Bye.